Hey guys, Kevin Cleary here with a flashlight video for you. Today I have the ZanFlare F1. Now this light was sent to me for review by gearbest.com and they're running a bit of a promotion on this light and some other stuff, so it's in the description box below. If you're interested, you can go and check it out. Now just be aware that ordering stuff from GearBest, you're going to be waiting for some time. It really does come on the slow boat from China, so you're going to have a little patience with that. Now, let me get to the light and the question I have for you. This light to me is a little big for EDC, so I wanted to put it out there. Who watching this carries a light? And if you do carry a light, what size do you carry? Do you carry, a AAA, a AA, a pen light, one of the short fat guys like the Olight Baton S1, or do you prefer something this size? This is an 18650 style light, around 1000 lumens. So let me know what you carry and what you like about it. And the reason I'm asking that question is I can see that being really helpful for other people who don't carry a light. They can look in the comments below and get some recommendations from people and some experience, and see some of your experiences. So go ahead and do that if you wouldn't mind. I think it'd be some helpful information for myself and everybody else who might be watching. Also, let me give you the size and weight on this, and then I'll switch over to some shots of the beam taken outdoors a few nights ago, and then I'll come back and we'll do sort of the tabletop, go over the features and stuff of this light. So overall, this light is 5 3/8 inches long. It's basically an inch in diameter. You can see it goes up and down, but it's just a little over an inch at the wider portions, and it's just under an inch at the thinner portion. So, it's right around that ballpark. And it weighs in at 4 ounces, which is not that bad in terms of what you're going to carry around. Now, again, for me, this is not a light that I'm going to have on my person all the time. This light would be something I'd strap in my bag. I especially I've got a couple of bags that have like MOLLE webbing on the strap, and I like to throw a light in there. I also have a light, this style of light, by my bed, so that if I need to get up in the night and look for something, I've got a light available to me. Okay, so I like this style of light, and I have a few of them, but not for EDC. Now that you've got the size and weight and a little introduction, let's go ahead and flip over to the beam shots, and then that'll be about a minute and a half or so, and then we'll be at the tabletop review. All right, we'll talk to you in a second. Okay guys, we're out here in the dark so that I can do a quick little flashlight footage for you. I am working on a review of the ZanFlare F1, and so I'm going to turn that beam on, and there should be a little kids play park that you can see here in a second. There we go. It is a miserable night out here, so that light is having to cut through a little bit of snow and stuff like that. Now I'm going to just cycle through the modes. The first mode is moonlight mode, so you're not going to see anything. Next is medium, and then high, and then ultra. Okay, so this light claims 1200 lumens, and it's probably not too far off of that. Just to give you a quick comparison, I'm going to let you see that beam, and now I'm going to switch over to the Phoenix PD35, which is like 900 lumens. So there's the PD35 on its highest mode, and oh no, there's its highest mode, sorry. So there we are sitting at 900 lumens on the Phoenix PD35. And if I just quickly switch these out for you really quick. Okay, so there again is the ZanFlare, and there's the PD35, ZanFlare, PD35. I'll give you one other example, and that is from the Olight S2 Baton. You can see it's much more floody. There's not a really definitive spot on it. This is more floody than the PD35, which makes them hard to compare, but I'll give you one last run through. There's my dog. He's out here checking things out. Anyway, I'll give you one last run through of the modes. So there's moonlight. You're not going to be able to see anything. Low, medium, high, and there you go. Alright guys, let's go switch back over to the tabletop now. Alright guys, here we are with a nice close look at the ZanFlare F1 here, and give you a quick rundown on the features. You've already seen the beam shots, you have a sense for the kind of light this is going to produce. And I think you can see that it does a pretty good job at that, you know, sort of 1,000 lumen range. I've had definitely no problem with it. And I can tell you that my wife uses this light a lot to walk the dog, and she actually prefers this light to a few of the other lights that I have. She's not super picky about it, but she definitely likes it. Fairly easy operation. Tail clicky turns it on, and then you have the button here that cycles through the modes. So that's, I do appreciate that. It's nice and easy to work on. And then for strobe, you just hold down on that and that'll get the strobe going for you. Okay, so let's flick that off and quickly go over the features on this. So it does take an 18650, and that is installed just by simply removing the back cap here. There you go, and there's your battery in there. The pocket clip is movable from this side. I'll just move it for you so you can see this. You can put it here, which can allow you to clip this to the brim of a hat, although this light is a little heavy for clipping to the brim of a hat. Really, it's also a little heavy for carrying in your pocket, so I don't have this clip on all the time. I put it on just for this video. Normally, I carry this in a bag or maybe in a coat pocket or something like that, so I have no real reason for a clip to be on it. All right. That said, the clip is fairly tight and does seem to function just fine. Let me pull this off completely. Maybe it's harder to do on video than I anticipated. There we go. It does have one feature that I think is interesting. So it's an 18650 battery in there. And if you roll this wheel down, it's threaded. You can find right here, there is a micro USB port that you can use for charging. And the light does come with, not a battery, but it does come with a little charging cable, okay? So for me, this is not super useful. I have a few 18650 batteries and chargers around, so I normally have some, well, in fact, I make sure that I have some charged 18650s, so if a light goes out, I've got the ability to replace the battery in it. But if you only were going to have one light, and maybe you're just going to buy one 18650, you could pop it in here and then you could charge it right in the light without having to buy anything else. I don't know if that's the best approach. It's certainly not the one that I would want to use, but that is available, which is nice. So there's the features on the light. Oh yeah, I guess it also has a little LED back here that will come on when the battery starts to get low, just warning you that you have a low battery and it's time to change it. Now let me pull in a couple of comparisons. Number one, let me pull in the size of light that I actually like to EDC. So for me, this is not an EDC light. It's just too big. Something like this or like this. This is the Ultratech K18. This is the Jet Beam, whatever model it is, M2MK. This of course is a CR123 light, and this is a AAA or whatever they are, 1450 something light. These two are a little more EDC friendly as far as I'm concerned. The biggest light that I have EDC'd before, other than I've carried this one a little bit for review, but this is the Olight S2 baton, and I really, really like this light. It does take an 18650, but you can see that it's basically as small as it can possibly be while still accommodating an 18650, and I do really like that. I don't carry this often, but I have carried it in my pocket before, especially if I'm camping or in a situation where I think, hey, I may need a flashlight. This is nice because it carries really, really easily for you. A similar light that I use in a similar way to this one, this is the Phoenix PD35, and it's the older version, so it's like 850 or 900 lumens. I think the new ones that are out are 1,000 lumens or maybe even more. I've had this light around for a little while. I got it in a trade, and again, this is a bag light for me just like this one. I do have one other light to show you for comparison. This is in a different category all on its own. That of course is a TN35 from ThruNite. Really, really nice spot style light. Okay, a lot of throw and a lot of lumens here. And I just brought it in for a quick size comparison. So this is maybe a little more similar to your typical full-size flashlight. It's a little bigger than a full-size flashlight, but at least that way you kind of see what I'm talking about when I differentiate roles for lights. This one carries nice in a bag or a coat pocket. This doesn't even carry that nice that way. This one carries well in a car or in the house if you're going camping, something like that. So those are some comparisons for you, and those are how I use each of those lights. I will say this, in terms of my use of this light, I've had very, very good luck with it. It's nice and bright. It's reliable. If you drop it, it's not an issue. Now, I didn't do anything crazy with it, but I have dropped it a few times. You know, it's fallen out of my pocket. It's rooting around in my pocket and not had any problems with it. So I'm very, very pleased with this light. And for the price point, you know, I think if you get a discount on this, it's probably $30, $40. If you're in Canada, that translates to about $50 Canadian, which kind of sucks. But for a fairly small, easy to carry package, you're actually getting a reasonably bright light. Well, we're finishing up here. Let's go ahead and throw that pocket clip back on. So there you go, guys. That is my take on the ZanFlare F1